brought out how the needs vary across the country, and that it's important to have a local dimension in how we address these challenges. So thank you very much, and thank you for offering to take one or two questions. So can I open it to the floor? If anyone would like to ask a question, clarification, or offer a comment, do please feel free.
So I won't be insulted if you don't.
Yes, please. If you could say who you are and where you're from. Thank you.
Frank Mahoney, Chief Executive of the Derbyshire District Council, one of the district councils referred to in your speech there. Obviously, we're part of the Derbyshire, and Derbyshire is part of the East Midlands, but more importantly these days, we're part of Europe as an East Midlands. How do you see us sitting in the current economic climate? We want to be in the top 20 regions in Europe, and hoping we're going to get there along with one continent. How do you see us in our profile in Europe as the East Midlands?
We certainly do want a successful East Midlands, not just by British standards, but by European standards. Clearly, at the moment, because of us being in the Eurozone, we have got peculiarly British problems which we need to address at the same time as the European Union together, but the Eurozone in particular has its problems to address as well. And it is a matter of not letting them get out of sync, and remembering that at the end of the day, the whole of Europe, the Eurozone or otherwise, will sink or swim together. Swim, preferably, and that's clearly the intention. But, as I say, the revised regional economic strategy, which will have that success in Europe at the heart, will be published very shortly. I don't want to preempt what's going to be in it, not least because I'm not entirely sure. But I can assure you that the European dimension hasn't been forgotten, and we will be continuing to work towards that aim.
Press the button and then you get the mic to light up and then you're on your way. So if you say where you're from, thank you.
Hello, I'm Susan Hanley from the Local Government Association's European and International Union. And my job is to go to local authorities and encourage them to have international links. Now, I'm not trying to catch you out. I'm actually looking for an actual quote from you for our website tomorrow. I think it's really difficult. Obviously, I love my job and I believe in my job. I get really fed up when people say, why are you looking at international links when we've got to empty bins and we've got to have street lighting? Could I just have from you as deputy for this region, what would you say to people when they say to you, we're facing an economic crisis, why should we actually concentrate as a council, the county council, on this link with prayers? That's just a quote that I really get everything to say before.
Well, if you like, I'll give you the penultimate paragraph of the speech I just gave just to use as a quote. But in the same way that there are, I didn't mention this figure to the last speaker, but literally millions of jobs in this country which are dependent on our continued membership of the European Union. Similarly, there are tens of thousands of jobs in this country, not just in Toyota, which are dependent on Japanese investment. And whereas British companies and institutions invest abroad in their own interests, in their enlightened interests, similarly, the Japanese who invest in Britain do so with a sense of enlightened self-interest. It's not just altruistic, and we understand that, and we approach it the same. And at the end of my speech, I said, in Britain as well as in Derbyshire, we value the investment that Japan makes in our country. We know that such decisions are not made lightly. Organisations like the JLGC help forge the relationships of trust that are necessary for success, and organisations like Toyota are the robust results. I'll lend you that, a copy of that.
Very good. We've got time for perhaps another one if anyone would like to raise a comment. I think that last point was a really strong one for the day. Thinking beyond our own particular place in the world and exploiting and thinking how to take all the best advantage of the links, cultural, as Councillor Sanders mentioned, but also I think economic and environmental. Anyone? It looks like, oh, we've got one. Take one. Thank you. Press the read button. Press the read button.
Yes, I don't know. My name is Chris Watson from the University of Birmingham. Really, I just want to add to what the Minister said, because I feel it's too easy often to measure these links in terms of their economic benefits, jobs and so on. I mean, of course those are hugely important, but there are so many other aspects to internationalism. You think of education and culture. I mean, the chairman a few minutes ago talked about the opportunities that school children have had from this area to go to Japan, and I'm sure vice versa as well. And I think it's really important that we pay attention to those as well. If we try to measure everything in purely economic terms, important though they are, we're missing a large part of the opportunities that come from these kind of relationships.
Just finally, you're absolutely right. I was thinking in my speech the term of reference I've been given for today. But you and I will be aware that because we're the generation we are, the world has changed so much for the generations that are following us. When I think of how many countries I have visited by the age of 25, and I look at the number of countries my daughter has visited by the age of 25, vastly different. It is a much smaller world than it used to be. And I think for all sorts of reasons, as you rightly say, not just economic, but cultural and in the interests, at the end of the day, in world peace and understanding, not underestimate it, knowledge of other